Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, thank you so much for stopping by. Today I am jumping on the Dollar Tree pumpkin bandwagon and showing you how I chose to decorate my pumpkins. Let's go! Alright, so my first step is to take one of these fall decor pieces, and I'm going to be using this as my base that I will attach my pumpkins to. And I did end up painting one coat of this moss green Waverly chalk paint over the word gather. Honestly, when it's all said and done, I don't think this step is necessary because when I put the moss on there, it completely covered it. So it's up to you, but I did want to show you, just in case you don't want to add moss to it like I do in a little while, that you can just go ahead and paint this. While that is drying, I'm going to go ahead and break down these three pumpkins. So these are the three that I will be using for my little decor piece here. I'm going to take everything off, the burlap, the base of it, the little pieces, the leaf, I mean basically everything. And then I'm going to start work on removing the glitter. Now my way of removing glitter is, I don't know, it may seem weird, but it works really well in my opinion. So I do not like glitter to begin with, to be honest. And to keep it from flying all over the place, what I have found is the best trick is to spray it with some Goo Gone. And then I simply just take one of these little scrapers that I got from Dollar Tree and I scrape it off. And if you'll notice, it clumps up instead of flying all over the place. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't fly a little bit, but for the most part, the glitter clumps up and I don't have to deal with literally glitter everywhere. So, and of course, this is where that little ladybug vacuum comes in handy because you can just clean it all up very quickly. So that is my hack for getting the glitter off, is I do use Goo Gone. What I'm about to show you is a do not do this. So I try to keep it real on my channel here. You'll notice my wall art's dry and now I'm attaching my moss. Well, that's great and all, except for the fact when I get to the part where I'm ready to attach my pumpkins to this, I can't securely attach it because the moss is on there and you're going to see me pull it all off and have to reapply it. So I'm just showing you this to tell you, please don't do it this way because yeah, it's just not going to work out very well for you. Now, instead of painting the backs of my pumpkins, I'm just using some of this brown craft paper from Dollar Tree. I'm just tracing around my pumpkins, going to cut it out, and then I will attach it, and that will be the back. Instead of, like I said, painting it or trying to make it pretty, I'm just going to slap this craft paper right on the back. To attach my craft paper, I'm going to use some tacky glue, and then I am just going to use my finger to spread it around instead of a paintbrush. I just felt like being messy today, I guess. Sometimes I feel like the tacky glue doesn't bubble up as much as the Mod Podge. I don't know if that's really true, but I don't know. When I put this craft paper on, I felt like I didn't get as nearly as many bubbles as if I had used Mod Podge. And then once the backs are all pretty and nice with this craft paper, I'm going to start working on the front of the pumpkins. For the front of the pumpkins, I'm going to be using 3 different pieces of scrapbook paper. I got all of these at Hobby Lobby when they were on sale. And I'm going to basically do the same procedure. I'm just going to trace the pumpkins onto the paper, cut out the scrapbook paper, and then to attach them, I really like using spray adhesive because you get absolutely no bubbles. You certainly could use Elmer's glue if you wanted to, like the stick glue. That also doesn't have you get bubbles like Mod Podge, but I just really like using the spray adhesive because it's a no-brainer, no bubbles. Now I'm ready to embellish my pumpkins. So for this plaid pumpkin, what I'm doing is I took 5 pieces of raffia and I knotted the end. And then what I'm going to do is kind of separate out the pieces and then divide it into 3 sections and just start braiding it. do is I'm going to be using this braided raffia to make the ridges on my pumpkin as well as wrap the stem. So I'm going to start by securing it to the back of the pumpkin, kind of at an angle, and then I'm simply just going to glue it down, making the ridge, and just hot glue it directly onto the pumpkin, secure it on the back. Then I will cut the raffia, tie a knot, and do the same thing for the other ridge on the other side. And then I will wrap the stem with what I have left over. Now you may be looking at the back of this thinking, okay, why did you put the craft paper on there and it looks like that? Well, I realized the way that I was putting the pumpkins on my little thing, you can't see the backs except for the biggest pumpkin. So honestly, I really don't know why. I just don't know why. There you go. I don't know why. For this pumpkin, I'm going to be using 3 of these leaves, all from Dollar Tree, and I'm simply just going to glue them down with hot glue onto the pumpkin, and then I will be wrapping this stem with some twine. For the final pumpkin, again, I'm using some of these leaves from Dollar Tree. I'm going to hot glue them down, and then I'm going to tie a bow using some twine and raffia to put at the base of the stem. Here is where I realized the moss needs to come off. So I'm just going to pull off most of the moss so that I can secure my pumpkins to it. And the way I will be securing the pumpkins is I will be gluing some Jenga blocks to the backs of the pumpkins, and then I will be gluing that down to this little wall art. So it worked out really well in the end, but yeah, it was kind of annoying to have to pull this off. And as you can tell, I pulled off some of the green paint, and I did not go back in and paint that. As I secured each of these pumpkins down to that base, I did go in and kind of start adding the moss back, and it worked out just fine. is the finished product. I just added some of the little Dollar Tree wooden stems and some of the pumpkins on each side and just kind of propped that little harvest sign up against it. But this is probably how I will display it whenever I figure out a place to put it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Please give this video a thumbs up if you love fall DIYs. Stay tuned for some DIY shout outs, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!